I am Donika.
And I am Myra, and this is a Black Women Healing Podcast.
A space to discuss mental wellness.
A space to dive into soul care and vulnerability.
Here, we will support you on your journey as you focus on your healing,
while also giving you the work along the way.
Welcome to Black Women Healing Podcast. Hello, welcome to another episode of Black Women Healing Podcast. And today is just myself and Myra, and it's going to be our 3-year anniversary episode, which just sounds wild.
Right, 3 years. You sure it's correct? It's 3?
That's what it say.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go with what it says.
It don't feel like 3 years to you?
No, it feels like 2 years. But
it feels like 1. I'm gonna blame the pandemic. That's what it is.
Oh God, yeah.
Like you like literally done had a whole child and like
whole human.
A whole human in the midst of us doing this podcast, which should make it feel longer, but it does not. It does not feel long at all.
No, it doesn't at all. So I think today will be a good chance for us to kind of reflect on our friendship, because on our other episodes, we kind of talked about like reflecting on the podcast, but I think it'll be a good chance for us to kind of show a little bit more about who we are, because I feel like we do like little sprinkles here and there. So I figured it'd be cool for us to do that.
Okay. Let's do it. 3-year anniversary podcast / how we met.
3-year anniversary, what, 6-year friendship?
When did I meet you? 2016?
When did you start grad school?
2015.
Okay, yeah, 2016.
Well, yeah.
Well, how did we meet?
I don't know how I met you. So I was in my little grad program at San Diego State, and if you've ever been to San Diego in general, there's not a lot of Black people, and the people, it's a few, but it's a little strange, a little different. And so they had this organization on campus. If you know anything about me, I'm gonna try to find community, try to figure out how I can make it work. And so it was a Black professor, Myra, you know her name,
Dr. Donika Green.
Dr. Green, yeah, Dr. Green, sweetest woman. And so she would, it's always, usually it's nice when you have, it's always that Black professor who sees like the Black student kind of trying to figure it out. They find you, they, get you, and they really help you. Mm-hmm. And so she like, come to my office. I got some stuff that, you possibly could be a part of, and, some students to connect you with. And so she connected me with an organization that Myra was leading called AMP, which is African American Mentor Program. What is that called?
Yeah, African American Mentoring Program. I was not leading that program, girl. You getting the story wrong.
You was the president. You was the president.
So what happened with that was Dr. Green, it was for graduate students. So I was not a graduate student, but she was struggling to have people that were like committed to it. And I was like determined to go to grad school. And I found out like she had all these connections. So I was like, I'm getting good with this lady. So
she was leading it, y'all, basically.
I was not leading it. She had me kind of helping her out a little bit more, but I was not leading it.
So who was leading it?
Dr. Green was leading it.
No, we talking about students.
Not me.
It was her. It was her. But anyway, okay. All right. So Myra was leading it. And I went to, I think maybe one meeting, and they was like, oh yeah. Matter of fact, because didn't we get those funds because of you wrote the grant to get the funds?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. It was a whole grant or some type of scholarship, some type of something offered where you had to apply, and then you had to use these funds for something about the organization or something. You know how they do at college. They be giving out money. You just got to find it. Yep. And Myra had been the person to write the grant or whatever it was to get us the money. So we had this money, and it was like, okay, there's this conference coming up. Do y'all want to go? Because we got the money. I'm
Uh-huh.
never gonna say no to a free trip, especially. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And that's how, I mean, even that's probably, I probably met you in that meeting, but I don't remember actually like coming up to you and
I
seeing.
don't either,
I don't
yeah.
remember that.
I remember you arrived, and that's when we like for real met.
When in
You
Florida?
arrived in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Because there was no like, and I feel like they should have did this. Like, you should have known who you were going with. Cause it was just like y'all just showed up and I got keys to somebody's car. Now we driving somebody's car now. Now we going to the club. We don't even know each other. We're acting like we knew each other for years.
That's probably why it worked out. Because that's so true. I didn't know. I did not know you at all. That is so weird. We were staying in the same hotel room too.
Same room.
Dang.
Did not
Wow.
know each other.
Well, we got. I know. My flight was with Remy. It was this a girl named Remy. She's super super cool, y'all.
Yeah.
And another person, never had met her a day in my life, and we got on this. We got on a little. I don't know if y'all ever been to What is it, Daytona? I don't know if y'all ever been there, but it's really
Yeah.
small. And so we took like two. If I don't know, it felt like it took like 3 planes to get there, and the last
Yeah, it
one was
did.
super super small because I guess a lot of people don't really go there, and so it was so strange. Then we get there, and it was just like nothing
It's
was
literally one
there
street. Everything's on
but
that one
the
street.
school, Bethune Cookman College. That's what it's called, right?
But don't cook me up.
That is it. That is the school, and the NASCAR. I think they do the racing thing too.
Yeah.
That's it. That is the whole
I
school.
think the street is like NASCAR Road.
Like that was it. It was me, Myra, Remy, and a guy named Terry. He was in the grad program too. Um,
Yep.
so Terry, and he was that. Yeah, I feel
I
like
didn't even make it to the conference.
yeah. What was the conference called?
I couldn't even tell you what the
It
conference was
was
called.
the ABSI, which is the African American Black Psychologists. It was ABSI some conference. I forgot what the theme was that year because we made, well, some of us made it. Um,
I really trusted y'all though, because I literally like we had to come back and talk about it, and I made a whole fabricated story up, and y'all really went along with it. Do you remember that? Like we had to tell like people about the conference. I had a whole little story, and y'all just y'all was nodding and everything.
I mean, look, we had fun. But the conference was not the highlight. That's what I was just gonna say. It wasn't the highlight. We went out, we had a good time. Like Myra said, like when you look back, it looked like we knew each other, but we did not know each other like at
In the
all.
pictures.
We have pictures, like it looked like we really cool. Don't know this girl. Don't know these people. Did not know. Trusted these people with my life.
For real.
My entire life. And yeah,
Good.
from then it just, then Myra was my friend, but it was still like distant, right? So, I didn't talk to you like that. It wasn't like I talked to you several times a week or nothing like that. It would be like linking up every now and then. Let's have lunch or something like that. Um, and
Very
then
important.
I feel like it just, to be honest, I feel like that the podcast helped it grow because we wouldn't have been talking as much as we are now if it wasn't for the podcast, which is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the podcast has helped our friendship to flourish, but I feel like we're really good at like we could talk about podcast stuff and then we could shoot the shit. Like
Yeah. No,
it's not always business. It's like we get business done and we can carry on with something else.
that's true. That's never been a problem where either one of us be like, all right, I'm tired of talking about that shit. Let's talk about us. We like know how to like go in and out of it in a way that doesn't feel like too overwhelming. Even when it comes to like texting and emailing, I think we both like know when it's like, all right, I don't think it's a good idea to text her about this because it just don't seem right. So I'm gonna do the email thing. And then sometimes we actually do the text message thing. It's like you just feel it. Like you just, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like I'm also very scatterbrained though. We even be having regular conversations. I'll start talking about 5 different things. And I don't know how you be
Most
following,
definitely
but
are.
I be talking about 5 different things at one time and she will follow the whole time.
Yeah, I feel like I got a few friends like that. I don't know what's going on. At this point, I probably am so used to it. I'm probably like that too. Like in the
Yeah,
middle
you
of
are a
one,
little bit.
yeah, in the middle of one conversation, next thing you know, I start telling a side story in the middle of that, and then go back. Like what? Okay,
3 hours been passed. So anyway, what was we talking about earlier?
right. Look at what we talk about now, y'all. The conversation started with how do we meet? Listen to us right now.
All over the place. So anyway, if we want to stick to some structure, reflecting on just how our friendship has grown, I feel like um we made this podcast at a perfect time just because like it started right before the pandemic really hit, and we were doing all of our community events. But I feel like I like transition of it was like an escape during the pandemic, right? Like we weren't really going out really doing things. But when I know that when I met with Donika on our Sundays, because I feel like we were meeting more frequently. Now we have a down pack, like we meet once a month. But at first it was like every Monday, then it was like sometimes a Sunday, sometimes a Wednesday. Like it was kind of all over the place, but in a way that made sense. And it felt like it was like a good escape to be like, I know I'm gonna talk to my friend and we're gonna talk about whatever we're gonna talk about. So I'm really thankful for it in that. And then at the same time, when I'm able to go back to LA, we're able to talk about podcast stuff, but also like have that friend time. Like oftentimes a podcast will bring me there, but then we're able to like do our own thing. And I feel like we've been very intentional about like, what are we gonna do as far as like our friend date? So we've been able to like go to the Frida Kahlo exhibit. We've been going to some like restaurants, some not all that great, some really great. So and going to Boom and Poom multiple times. Like I'm even like, we want to go when I come again. That's our
Yeah,
spot now.
no, for real. I don't even like coffee, but I be craving for the blooming plume.
Girl, I keep thinking about it.
I
I'm like,
gotta
why
stay
do I think
away
about
from
it so
that.
much?
Literally, yeah. Only time I'm going there is if you come because I'm not about to be addicted to coffee. I can't do it.
Well, I'm only gonna go with you because I feel like I'm cheating on you if I if I go with somebody else.
It's so good.
It's so good. And that biscuit, even though y'all Donika's so funny. So they got this biscuit that's real good, and I had her get it, and she was like, I don't know if this is that good.
Mm. It
And
was
she had three
alright.
bites later, and she was like, this is good. Okay.
It's alright, but it's the coffee though. It's the
Oh my
coffee. It's not
God.
the biscuit. But I mean, I did. I even had one of those. What's those things called? Overnight oats, and y'all know those are like so basic. But it was actually good.
Really? Was it?
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
the look of it
it's
I
good.
can get
I
past.
You said what?
The way overnight oats look, they look nasty to me.
They
Like,
do.
it's like you're not
The
supposed to be
texture's
eating
nasty too. Like it's like a slimy. Not even. It's like it's kind of nasty. But those whoever like, I think it's about like being able to flavor it up. Like if you know how to flavor it up with
that. Mhm.
those types of sweeteners or whatever, or I don't know different types of milks. I'm not sure, but that was actually good. So yeah, bloom and bloom. But yeah, no, we most definitely been having our little friend dates. Um, and I think the podcast, like thinking of the pandemic, for me, it was a nice outlet to still
Yeah.
feel like I was feeling connected to the world.
Mhm.
Just because obviously we wasn't. So it's like you just said, being able to have all these different guests come, it still made me feel like I had a purpose of like what is all of this for.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I did tremendously miss the in-person events because that is what I was looking for the most. But at the same time, things work out how they need
Yeah.
to work out.
Was our St. Thomas trip right before the pandemic hit?
Was I what?
St. Thomas trip, was that like right before shutdown? I feel like it was like
We went to
literally right
St.
before.
Thomas in January,
And then
and
the shutdown was 2 months later.
yep. Well, technically, the shutdown was in February,
In some places it was in January.
so we was at all didn't even know. I ain't hear when we was there. I don't remember hearing nothing about no pandemic. We were
Yeah.
just living our best little life, and St. Thomas.
Trying to island hop, but the rain was stopping us.
See, that's a great example of like us still continue building our friendship. We didn't
Mhm.
go to St. Thomas for the podcast, even though
Not
the hope was we was gonna be able to do stuff like that, but we just went. And the hope was to go to a trip every January. But y'all know what happened this past January.
But we still managed to do a trip every year.
Where we go?
We went to Jamaica for your birthday last year.
Oh.
2020 was St. Thomas, and now 2022 is almost over and we ain't did nothing. So, okay, maybe we got to do something this year. I really want to go on a cruise, and not because I like cruises, but because I feel like I need to get a balcony room so I can sit and watch the water and drink tea. And I was like, I'm gonna drag Donika along because I feel like she would come.
I don't know. Like, I've had a cruise one. I've been on a cruise one time and it was all right, but
Yeah, I didn't enjoy my experience. So I was like, I need to try it again.
I think the people and the type of cruise you go on is important because you with those people the whole time. Not even, I'm not saying the people you travel with. I'm talking about the whole boat.
Oh yeah, the boat.
You see those people constantly, every single
Over and over.
all day.
You again?
Like, you again. We at dinner. Here you go. We getting a snack. We watching a little show. We going karaoke. It's you everywhere. I don't know if I want to see the same people.
That is a good point.
Or if I do see the same people, them same people better be dope.
Yeah, that's a good point. Something to think about. Yeah.
But yeah, we still been doing our little I guess, like you just said, trips and stuff, but
I mean, you come to San Diego and I come to LA, so I feel like those are mini trips.
Yeah, I've been to San Diego. Yeah, you're most definitely the only reason why I come to San Diego. I hope you know that. I do love San Diego, don't get me wrong, but
you don't love that much.
Yeah, no, I don't. I wouldn't come as frequent, but when I do come to San Diego, so dope. But I think you should move to LA.
Yeah, I don't love it here, but yeah.
But they got the best food. They have, in my opinion, they have the better restaurants.
For sure. It's not all about the aesthetic. Like the food is actually good.
The food is actually good in San Diego. So.
I want some Chinese food. Like, you reminded me.
And you live by all the good stuff. She live by a barbecue spot, and it's actually a white man who owns it. And the barbecue is actually
really good. Maybe he could be a podcast sponsor.
Come on, man. What's his name? What's it called?
Corbin's barbecue, but he has a thing where he goes to different places, and because he's really big on community, that's why I'm like, we should maybe have him. So he goes around because I live on a major street. I won't say where I live though, but I live on a major street, and he goes to different businesses on the street, and his business is called Corbin on the Block. So he just goes and be like, hey, what's your business about? Can I post you on my Instagram? And he'll like shout out the businesses. So yeah, I'm gonna make a note to hit him up. Hey Corbin, what's up?
Yeah, no, I've seen him over there a few times, and he's always just so friendly, coming like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Like, very friendly. Yep.
But yeah, they got Corbin's. I got cookie places, places.
Have you been to Dirty Birds?
Yeah, I'd have been Dirty Birds.
Yeah, we did go there.
I was like, we went there. Yeah, we went there.
Thai food, sandwiches, sushi. Yeah, everything's over here.
I choose San Diego for the food. I choose LA for like events.
The vibe.
Yeah, and the vibe. Yeah. So
yeah,
been going back and forth for sure.
Much on that. So what do you feel like we've learned from each other? I feel like I learned from you to move how I want to move. And what I mean by that is like we were joking and talking about, if somebody email me, I'm gonna reply when I reply. Whether it's 2 weeks later, a month later, but I reply when I want to reply because it's all on my time. And I'm gonna move on my time, because that's one thing Donika gonna do. She gonna move on her time. And I mean that in every sense of what y'all are thinking. She gonna move on her time. But I like that though, because it's like there's no rush to do anything. Like, what am I rushing for? So yeah, I learned.
Yeah, sometimes that sounds good and sometimes it sounds bad.
Why bad? I think it sounds good overall, because I think for me, I'm just reflecting on like, go. Like, I know I'm a go person. Like, sometimes I do it like, and it's bad. Or like, one time I left a smoothie on top of my car and I'm driving down the street and this guy's like pointing to the top of my car and I'm like, what? He points to the top of my car. I get to the stoplight, smoothie comes down on the window. And I say all that to say, like, that's an example of like how I'm always like moving so fast. Like, I've even left my keys in my front door. So that's why I'm like, I admire that there's no rush to do stuff. Like
Yeah,
sometimes there should be urgency, yeah, but you're not like this where I feel like I'm like that. Like I'm like a hamster on the wheel.
yeah, you are.
Literally.
You
You
are.
like a turtle, but like but in a good way of like, I'm gonna take my time, like what am I rushing for?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think because I've left my keys, I like my keys in my house and done stuff like that. And when I do, it always is like, yeah, you moving too fast. Like, slow down. Like, be a
Yeah.
little bit more still. Like, a lot of it be like, okay, if you lay somewhere, what's the worst that could happen? Like, don't stress yourself out about, like you just said, replying to an email. That email gonna be right there. If it's urgent, somebody should let you know it's urgent, and
Yeah.
then you still might not be able to do something depending on what it is. So, I mean, it is helpful. It like calms my stress and anxiety. So, something I have learned from you, I would say, um, your ability to ask people, I don't know if it was the baby or what, but you have the ability now to ask people ask and tell people what you need from them. You
Mm,
don't wait around trying to like make people read your mind and come up with their own scenarios of maybe she needs this, maybe she needs that. Like, you be like, "Hey, I'm doing this. I need you to come up or do this." Like, I've never seen somebody do that. Like, especially like after having a child, a lot of times it's always like this thing of trying to figure out what
mm,
the
mm,
mom needs. It's like, shoot, do
mm.
you need food? You just want somebody there? Like, but you was the first one I ever met who was like, "Hey, I need you to come down here. I'm doing this thing, or my man's doing this or whatever." And I appreciate that because one, it gives the person a chance to actually show up for you. And
Mhm.
two, I don't have to figure it out. It's like I know I'm showing up for you because you're telling me what you need. Like, and so I've learned that sometimes it's good. And I say sometimes because you don't have to do that all the time. But sometimes it's good to just tell people like, "Hey, I just need to talk today," or "I just need to get out the house," or "I need to just hang
It's
out."
you who taught me this though. It's not like I just yes, you literally told me like when I was pregnant, you were like, "What do you need?" And you always ask that like, "What do you
I
need?"
was confused
So,
with you. Yeah.
and then you straight out told me like when I had the baby, like you need to let me know what you need and when you need it. And so I was like, well, shit, if you're gonna lay it out like that, well, I'm gonna tell you what I needed when I need it then. And so I've tried to just carry that along because when I've asked you for what I need, you've done it. And so that says to me that I can't ask for what I need and it will get done by people. And you showed me that. Like I was like, oh, I need food and stuff. And so you were like trying to buy me food, like what kind of food do you want? And I was like all over the place because baby was a newborn, send me money for food. I said, these dates I'm gonna need help. I don't know what it's gonna look like. You're like, I'm there. And so you show me that if I ask for something, I can get it. Because I feel like I don't really ask for much anyway. So
Yeah,
I
no, not at
carry
all.
that out. Like if my friends are saying, like, tell us what you need, why wouldn't I take them up? Like I really wanted to avoid postpartum depression. And so that was one of the key things I was reading about. And so for my friends to say, like, reach out for me if you need me, and me wanting to avoid that, like I'm gonna do what I need to do because I don't want to be in that state. And I've seen other women in that state, and that's just not where I want to be.
Yeah, no, I can see that, but I think that it's hard still to for you to have to speak
It's
up and
hard.
say those things is hard because it's like you are defying everything that most Black women are taught. Don't ask for nothing.
Yeah.
Deal with it yourself. You can do it. So
Mhm.
it's really hard to actually still say those words, even if people are telling you that you can ask me for anything,
Yeah.
So that means that you had to put all of that negative talk in the back of your mind that probably was like, "Girl, you can do it." And then
Mhm.
also you had to trust that your people was going to show up for you. So
Yeah.
that's really hard. And shoot, even for me, like sometimes, you know, um, you do, like I said, you have those internal pieces of like, you can figure it out,
Mhm.
It's like, so I feel like I learned that from you.
I mean, like I said, without you, I don't know that I would fully trust myself to do that. Like I said, because you shown up for me in those ways, and so now you kind of set the standard of like my other friends too. Like, don't say that I can lean on you for stuff if you're not going to show up, because I know that Donika will. So I expect you to do the same.
Agree. Yeah. If you're not gonna do it, don't say it. And I'm
Exactly.
actually very intentional
Exactly. And you
about
already know it's hard to ask. So
yeah, I'm not gonna say let me know if you need anything if I can't show up.
exactly.
I'm not. I'm gonna say the words differently. Pay attention, people. Pay attention.
Exactly.
So we done talked about our friendship and how the podcast has kind of shaped it. And so we've been friends for about 6 years. And the podcast has been here for about 3 years. So hey Shyla. I can't see her face.
You see her now.
Hey, hey pretty girl. Oh. See, we have a new addition. Yeah, she's gonna be one pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. A whole
Quiet.
child.
Mm-hmm.
But so we've been reflecting on how the podcast has shaped our friendship. So we've had the podcast for 3 years. So I just want to do a little quick reflection on what you are looking forward to in the podcast in the next 6 months and then year.
So for the next 6 months, we did hire someone to kind of man the fort, if you will. So to run our social media, get us some sponsorships and things like that. So I'm hopeful that, we can get more sponsorships. We had some in the beginning, and so I want to keep that going just because this is mental work. So I feel like we should be getting, a little coin for our mental work that we're doing. And then within the next year, I think I want us to pick back up our like mini retreats with just us. And that's not directly podcast related, but indirectly, because I feel like you need those moments to unplug and unwind to continue to produce good work. I think in addition, us picking back up our healing circles, I really enjoyed that. But I want them to look a lot different. Like I was telling Donika, like I want to bring in people doing some stuff so that way we can be a part of it too. And yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. What about you?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward. I'm looking forward to expanding. Expanding in the best way and most fruitful way possible. Like I literally think that the episodes that we talk about, like the topics of our episode are so vast and so important, especially the Black women. Like I just want more people to know about us. Like we come on. How many podcasts, Black women podcasts that have talked about HIV, herpes?
None.
Like we about to talk about sickle cell. Like
Right.
we talk about a vast arrangement of different topics. And so it's like people need to hear this. Like so that's my hope. It's just that it's the continuous expansion of Black Women Healing Podcast. I mean, we still have our book. So and like talking about celebrations and I'm sorry, y'all. And talking
Make
about
it funny.
yeah, I'm laughing at Myra over here. It's the fact that she thinks that's funny.
For real.
A monster hand on her face.
Mm-hmm.
But but in talking about celebrations, like this past year, we officially have our book now in a store, a storefront. The store is called Urbana Goods. It's in Gardena, California, which is dope, super dope. So like we have our book there. We've had, I feel like this past year we've had 2 sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We had Stronger Than My Struggles, which is a brand by Melanie Hill. She's dope too. And then we also had a sponsor by a woman named, I forget her name, but the business is called Promptly Polished, and it's a whole platform where you can go on there and it's all like the products and hair and makeup of Black women just all in one place, which is super dope too. And so, like, it's been a lot of celebratory things that have happened in the past year. And so the hope is that these celebratory things just continue to grow.
I completely agree. And we continue to match with businesses that fit us. Cause I feel like all the businesses we've kind of like worked with, they're in alignment with us. And so I want to continue that.
I agree. But so this has been a good reflective episode. I'm glad that we got to do it. It's still wild that it's been 3 years.
I know. I thought that was an error.
Nah, it really has been. And so I hope you all enjoyed this episode and got to do a little reflection with us. We join you all to do some reflections on yourself, maybe some things you've learned about yourself since listening to Black Women Healing Podcast. What's y'all's favorite episode? You know, we love to connect. So if you feel prone to it, let us know. Share some things with us.
Yep. All right, y'all. We'll talk to you later. So, y'all, we have to shout out our friends over at Fiverr. We are officially a Fiverr affiliate. And I love Fiverr because you can literally go to them for any type of project you might want to work on, whether it be if you need a new logo, you need help with the resume, you need help with social media. They help you over there. So go ahead and check out our friends over at Fiverr. That's 5ERR. So 5 with 2 R's at the end. So go ahead and check them out with the link in our bio and tell them that we sent you.